I grew up down in the west end of Louisville. It was largely a single-parent home. My mom worked and raised 4 kids pretty much by herself. She was the lady that would never go to the hospital. My grandma gets sick, she'd go right to the hospital. But if my mom gets sick, it's kind of like, because she's been doing it for so many years. She's been dealing with things to put up with us because she can't be in the hospital with 4 kids with no parent. Nobody had heard from her for about a day or so, and then we actually caught up to her, and she was in her bed and she was having a stroke.
Dexter very seldom ever has a bad day. So when he has a bad day, you notice it, and you notice it quick. It just so happened that one day Dexter was down. I gave him a call. He never returned my call, and that's not really like Dexter. So I called a couple of the other guys to see, what's going on with Dexter. And Doug Beaumont told me that Dexter's mom had passed away.
It's really when you get to being by yourself, then you're left with your own thoughts, that those feelings of bewilderment, those feelings of sorrow, to lose somebody so important to you. That's not easy to go through. And at the same time, anybody that could have possibly understood was going through the same thing that I was going through, because everybody that was just as close to me was my brothers and sisters. So, I really didn't have a shoulder to lean on.
I immediately called him and left a message, said, "Hey, Dexter, I want to be there for you, man. How can I help?" Well, he immediately called me back then, and he told me that he needed me. I remember walking in and just seeing him, and immediately I just ran up to him. I gave him a hug, and I hugged him for about, it felt like eternity, but it was probably about 3 minutes. And just seeing his transparency of wanting to be held. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but he wanted somebody there, and I was glad that he allowed me to be part of that. And just hear his heart. He misses mom.
There's only 2 ways that can go when something like that happens. Either you can skyrocket or you can go off the deep end. I went off the deep end. I wasn't very fortunate in how I handled this situation.
I remember Dexter saying that, he can handle this on his own. And I kind of gave him the space that he wanted. And as time went on, I could see Dexter falling away from FCA, falling from things that I knew were very, very important in his life. And I remember calling him and saying, "Dexter, you can't handle this on your own. This problem is too big for you to handle. You really need to trust more in God."
Let's just be honest, there are some pretty goofy things that I was doing and some pretty messy situations that I would find myself in later on, but Chris never judged me for that. He would always try to offer words of encouragement, and to not have anyone telling me, that you can do this, anything like that, any words of encouragement, because that's what my mom was to me. To Chris actually at least filling that void, that really helped. He's definitely a friend of me, and FCA has really just gotten me through so much this past year.